I was very, very close to my father. And then we used to macam tengok TV sama-sama lah. Kan? And then dekat padamu punya video tu was on. And he literally said word per word. Dia kata, handsome Yusry ni.
Too pretty to handle. Too pretty to handle.
Assalamualaikum. Hai, saya Zain Saidin.
Dan saya Dr. Hanafi.
Dan anda sedang mendengar dan menonton Too Pretty to Handle Podcast,
Powered by Estika Medispa,
the number one non-invasive beauty anti-aging Medispa di Malaysia.
Yes, betul tu Zain. Dan untuk pengetahuan semua, di Estika Medispa ni semua beautician kita adalah certified and accredited by London Examination Board dan UTM Space. Tambahan lagi, semua senarai terapi kita dan produk kita dikeluarkan oleh doktor. Dan yang paling penting sekali, dekat Estika Medispa ni adalah multi awards winning Medispa in Malaysia.
Baik, London. Kampung saya tu, doktor.
Tahu?
Kampung saya London. Kita speaking London.
You're right.
Yes, I'm alright. How are you, mate?
Not too bad.
Yeah. Okay, doktor.
Ya, saya.
Kita punya cerita hari ni best, doktor. Tapi saya nervous.
Kalau kau nervous aku?
Doktor tak perlu nervous. Sebab saya nervous sebab saya kenal dua-dua guest kita ni, doktor, daripada saya kecil lagi, doktor.
Faham?
Dia kecil, diorang kenal saya dan diorang boleh tengok gelagat saya yang tak nak cerita lah, tapi saya takut nanti diorang cerita. So yang saya nervous tu.
Alah, okey lah tu.
So macam nak kata, doktor, kita
siapa yang tak kenal kan? Satu Malaysia kenal kan?
Semua kenal. Sangat terkenal.
Itulah. Tak tahu nak cakap macam
saya
mana.
kecil-kecil dah kenal seorang ni. Saya kenal, saya pau dia.
Pau?
Saya pau dia masa saya kecil.
Macam kau
Lagi seorang pula, saya macam pernah kacau-kacau bully dia.
Really?
Itu yang takut tu, doktor. Tak tahulah. Tapi tak apalah, kita introduce juga ya.
Introduce lah. Tak sabar.
Kita punya celebrity for today adalah Dato' Yusry dan juga Datin Lisa. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you for coming.
Pleasure. Let's kalau boleh kita tak terlalu formal lah kot lah.
Ya.
We've known each other for a long time kan?
Ya, betul.
Ya, betul.
So call me as how you usually pernah kan call
panggil
kan?
Abang Yusry Abang Yusry dengan adik Lisa.
Adik pun boleh lah. Why not?
Why not kan? Masa muda.
Baik.
Sebaya
Saya
No, he's my senior.
Saya senior dengan dia. Situ doktor mungkin boleh dah tahulah saya yang mana saya pau, yang mana saya bully. Kat situ mungkin doktor boleh tahulah.
Yalah tu, betul lah tu.
Aduh, cerita
kalau nak
dia,
tahu doktor sebenarnya Zain, kita sama sekolah dululah.
Betul.
Sama sekolah rendah dulu, sekolah
lah.
Sri Inai, Kuala Lumpur.
Darjah 1 sampai darjah 6.
Yes, Zain is my senior lah,
Nakal.
senior setahun.
Bad boy.
Saya baik doktor.
Tak, baik.
Baik
Tak boleh buat apa. Abang Yusry dah buka
Saya
cerita.
banyak perkataan nak describe Zain, tapi baik bukanlah salah satu daripada ini.
Bukan description untuk Zain.
Tapi
Nakal
Masya
lah, nakal.
Allah, can you imagine how full circle this is? Because macam Zain kenal kita pada waktu yang sama, kita belum kenal each other.
Yeah.
And then yet now here we are again.
Betul.
You know, after how many years? Like what?
20.
Good, more than 20 years
20.
easily.
30s.
Yeah.
Amazing kan?
Amazing aturan Allah kan?
Masya Allah.
Boleh jumpa lagi macam ni lah. Memang best. Sebab tu saya nervous. Pada masa sama saya excited. Sebenarnya macam reunion balik sebenarnya. Jumpa balik Yusry masa saya kecil. Saya masa kecil pun jumpa Lisa.
Saya pun reunion dengan dia orang.
Reunion tu doktor
Dia
cakap
macam
sorry alah, macam ketika doktor pula kan. Tak.
Reunion sebab tengok dia orang kat filem, kat poster semua kan. So macam reunion. Okay. Gurau-gurau.
Sebenarnya macam Zain masa dekat sekolah dulu baik. Dia baik. Dia baik. Ada reputation yang menarik.
Baik macam ni.
Dia ada reputation yang menarik lah. Menarik masa dekat sekolah dulu.
Tak apa. Dah adik Lisa ceritakan je.
He had a very interesting reputation lah. Quite known amongst the teachers masa tu.
Anak mix kan.
Okay, cerita dia macam ni sikit. Saya masuk sikit lah. Saya memang nakal. Macam Abang Yusry kata nakal. Bukan sikit lah, memang banyak lah nakal dia. Memang banyak. Very active.
Yeah.
Active
The
lah.
would be hyperactive. They would say
Yeah,
very
you had a lot of
tak boleh duduk
energy.
diam.
A lot of energy.
A lot of energy.
Macam mana saya nervous macam ni lah saya kecil dulu. So saya tak tahulah tenaga dia datang balik tenaga masa muda dulu tu kan.
Aduh.
So saya kat sekolah memang very active in sports, you would say, tapi dari segi macam saya ketua doktor, dari segi pendidikan tak berapa cemerlang sangatlah berbandingkan dengan sukan.
Sukan lagi cemerlang. Okey lah tu.
Tapi itu masa sekolah rendah. Sekolah rendah insyaAllah dah okey sikit lah.
Then years later, we met again on set.
Betul.
And
My
then
English and a few other sets juga.
before that, we met on this set. Tak silapnya, Allahu Akbar. But I honestly can't remember what shoot it was. And at that time, masa tu takut.
Teringat kena pau balik lah.
Takut sebab macam, dia ni macam mana agaknya sekarang ni? Adakah dia
Macam dulu
reputasi
lagi.
yang sama? Macam tu kan?
Nakal lagi.
Tapi actually you said to me, hey, why you scared? You tanya macam tu. So then after that, then I realised, okay, sebenarnya that was masa tu lah. Masa sekolah je dia agak, nakal-nakal je macam tu lah.
Suka
Then I
usik
said,
lah.
okay. Then after that we worked again more often times untuk my English tu semua kan. So yeah.
Betul.
Yeah.
Saya apa doktor masa dia kata yang dia takut dengan saya, ya, kita dah dewasa masa tu kan.
Yeah,
so saya macam terasa tau macam, sampai macam tu aku buat impact kat Lisa. Sebab dia dengan adik dia, Arif.
Yeah.
Kan?
Oh my
Arif.
God.
Ada nama Arif. Ya.
Kau suka
Dengan
bully
adik
orang,
dia Arif. Arif lah yang saya paling banyak kacau.
Okey.
Lisa sebenarnya datang as protector. Saya ingat
kakak,
lagi. Dia datang dia protect. Lepas tu dengan Lisa sekali saya bully. Aduh, jahat betul. Betul. Ingat balik bukan
Gurau-gurau
nakal
lah.
jahat tu. Tapi yang pau ni sebenarnya abang
Saya ingat kat masa tu selalu your mother lah selalu complain. He never learns anything from school. His attention is so bad. Selalu mak dia dah boleh cakap pasal Zain lah. Lepas tu masa tu elite antara kita punya artis. So banyaklah berjumpa juga dengan
betul. And also because saya peminat besar KRU.
Siapa yang tak minat dia?
Saya minat besar KRU. Tu saya sempat pau. Saya pau Abang Yusri
Pau
sebenarnya.
CD.
Saya pau kalau ingat baju KRU Posi.
Baju KRU.
Masa tu konsert.
Lepas tu kau bawa
Konsert ARWAH if I'm not mistaken was the first concert, right?
That's an okay kind of pow though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Itulah
Like,
yang kau
I
pau
thought
benda
pau
tadi.
duit.
Itu sama lah.
Did you?
No. Itu tak pernah lagi.
Tapi ingatlah masa dekat rumah tu dia memang betul lah tak boleh duduk diam lah.
Memang dia kesana
Dia
ke sini, kesana
seorang
ke
pun
sini.
macam ada 10 orang main dengan dia.
boleh faham lah perasaan mak dia time tu.
Okay, tapi podcast ni bukan tentang saya.
Itulah.
Mari kita cerita
It's okay.
tentang
All
Abang
in
Yusri.
good times.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah.
Baik. Okay. So usually we like to get to know our guests first.
Okay.
Shall we start with Abang or Lisa first?
Alah ya.
Siapa pun boleh.
Okay,
anyone
kita
goes.
tanya dengan abang pula.
Boleh,
Okay, Abang Yusri, asal usul macam mana Abang Yusri? Where are you from actually? Are you local, KL or?
I was born and raised in KL, but I was made in England.
Wow.
Made in England.
Which part of England was that?
No, because Norman was born in England.
I
He was
see.
made in Malaysia. I was made in England, born in Malaysia.
Understand.
Macam cerita Ali G pula kan. Ali G pun dah cakap benda macam tu kan.
Oh ya, cakap macam tu okay. But lepas tu my whole life has been KL lah. Adalah juga travel here.
Sekolah and everything
Sekolah
was in
KL. When I was 15, Form 3. Yeah, Form 3, our family moved again back pergi England balik. I was away for 3 years with the family. Lepas tu balik terus KRU.
Masa yang you were growing up was in, because I know the KRU production was in Melawati. Was that Melawati when you were back from England? Masa lepas
When we
lahir?
came back from England, yes, we set up tinggal kat Melawati and our office was there.
I see. Okay, cool.
So selalu pergi, maksudnya dia made in England. So adakah keluarga ada mak ataupun ayah darah
Tak ada.
UK ke?
Memang orang Melayu. Cuma ayah saya time tu tak habis dia suka belajar lah. Tak habis dah habis dah kerja pun belajar lagi. Faham.
And all three of you were schooling everything in KL semua lah.
In KL up to the
Actually
point
there's
that we
4
left
kan.
lah.
Your younger sister jugalah kan.
4 beradik. But the thing is that 3 year stint was part of the reason why it kind of changed our mindset juga in a way, because because time tu Form 3 I left school, I left Setapak High School, sekolah orang cakap sekolah budak naughty jugalah kan.
Asal lebih kurang dia rupanya.
Reputation dia lah. Tapi I was budak baik.
Baik.
Aku dengar tu kalau dia lain dengan kau.
But thing is up to Form 3 semua serius lah. The good thing I left Form 3 because Form 4 onwards kan honeymoon year.
Betul.
My friends dengar time tu kecundang lah, lari sekolah lah, panjat pagar lah. I escaped all that because kita the whole family moved to England, and part of the reason why kita sini balik with a new punya pemikiran of musically, because back then semua orang minat rock. Time saya sekolah tu pun semua pakai slow ketat minat rock, saya pun sama juga. Tapi because of the music that we listen to in England was different. Mesti kita balik after that 3 years, it's like we left yesterday, sama. There was nothing changed. Padahal kita dah berubah banyak. Kenapa kita tak buat lagu macam ni ya? Lagu Melayu tak ada yang sebegini. So it was kind of like macam revolution for us jugalah in a way to realize that no one is
Kind of
doing
like
it.
shaped your music.
So that explains, because sebenarnya masa saya kecil dulu, saya pernah pergi KRU studio, dia ada besar tau gambar The Beatles. I remember that. I specifically remember that The Beatles. I said, kenapa The Beatles But I guess that explains why lah, because you were in England.
They were staunch fans.
We've been fans of the Beatles before we left, before pergi England pun. Memang minat Beatles from we were kids, because we thought that their songs were so powerful. So memang rasa, again, it's not anything like KRU punya music, but it's the DNA of the songwriting. Sama macam KRU, we have our own DNA. Although kita don't sound anything like the Beatles, but bila orang dengar lagu, ni KRU. So we have that kind of DNA juga. So we were hoping to emulate that songwriting punya street lah.
Even lagu Voodoo pun lebih kurang sama macam.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Kan?
Yeah.
Kita dengar kita tahu tu that's KRU.
Years ago, I think it was a good 9 years ago actually. We had a trip to the UK, and I'm a very sentimental person, so I requested from him, because he had stayed, although even if it's just for 3 years, but they're relatively formative years juga lah, because of the
Important years.
age kan, they're important
betul,
years.
significant.
So I said, please show me where you stayed, please show me where you went to school. Like
was that London ke apa?
Yeah,
Walthamstow.
because it was in London, because my
Walthamstow is David Beckham's.
Dia dah keluar dah. Manchester punya darah dia dah keluar dah.
Dari Rivia.
Beckham's a Londoner. He lived in Walthamstow. I lived in Walthamstow.
Right.
Yeah, because my parents were in the UK for about 7-8 years. They met there, fell in love there, all that semua. So dulu when I was studying in the UK, my mother would do that lah. Macam dia akan macam, okay, yang kat sini mami daddy duduk kat sini dulu, ataupun like things like that.
betul.
So I appreciate like this walk down memory lane kind of thing. So cuma I je belum kesampaian untuk buat benda yang sama untuk anak-anak lah. I think when they're a lot bigger, maybe insyaAllah. But then with him, like where he worked, and which Argos, what is it? Is that the name of the?
No, the thing is
that the name
zaman-zaman
of
dulu, you want to earn extra cash kan.
Right.
Students were allowed to work also.
Right.
So saya kerja dekat petrol station pernah kerja,
Restaurant.
cuci pinggan dekat restoran tanduri pernah.
Yeah.
So all this kind of things just to fill in the weekends and something,
And some extra cash. Yeah.
So I was pam minyak pun ada.
Initially when I asked him for this, like macam boleh tak kalau kita melawat, where you go, he was saying, but why? I cakap please, please, it'd be nice. I would love to have orang kata macam, I think it's like I would appreciate lah to see like where you stayed dulu.
Correct.
Kan?
Just
And
to
then
have like a taste kan, just to have a glimpse of what it was like.
So Bang Yusri bawa tak? Bawa.
Again, going back to our formative years tu, I think it was important because before that kita duduk bawah tempurung je. Saya penakut jenis yang takut campur orang. Saya nak pergi McDonald's pun suruh orang lain order. Takutlah nak order dekat
Masa dekat UK tu.
Dekat Malaysia.
Oh, kat Malaysia.
Before
Dekat
he
UK kind of change everything because now you work, kerja, is not just, and the education system was different, that bukan duduk diam dengan cikgu cakap, you berborak macam cikgu, macam your friend. It was kind of different. Pertukaran mindset juga lah. So in a way it was although Lisa said all the 3 years tu yang important years of our lives, where we start to format our
I think
brain.
in those 3 years as well, macam in a way like all three of you had a lot of adulting to do, because a lot of independence. You had to earn on your own. You got to travel from, using on your own, like public transportation, figuring it out, things like that. Like
different
macam,
world. We never been outside before.
right,
Faham.
Oh, best huh?
Oh,
Tapi actually, okay, there's one thing here I just noticed. All 4 of us have something in common.
What's that?
Your parents UK, kan? And UK, and then you lived in UK. My parents UK, studied in UK.
My wife studied in UK 4.5 years.
Oh yeah.
Baru habis viva semalam.
So we all have something in common. Wow.
Itulah.
UK.
Allah Mabarik. Yeah.
Who knew?
Who knew? Yeah.
Yeah. So
Cool,
itulah
cool.
macam so I rasa bersyukur because at that time we were with our daughter masa tu. So dengan Yung
Bawa dia sekali
sekali.
lah tengok my school, my place I used to work.
Yeah, so this was your school. It's
seronok.
nice.
Yeah, it's nice for the kids especially kan. They just see,
Obviously,
kan.
she didn't understand jack what was going on because she was only like apa masa tu she was 15 months only.
Yeah, not-
So she was
tak ingat dah. Belum ingat lagi.
she was tiny toony at that time. But
Yelah.
Tapi kita happy lah untuk share, untuk bagi tahu dekat anak kan.
That's nice. I actually plan to do that juga for Aisyah.
You should.
To bring my mother to UK and Aisyah semua sekali because I tak pernah tengok again, like I would like to see where my mother grew up.
Yeah.
And
London
all
ke
that.
outside?
London.
London itself.
Which part of London? I'm not
North
sure.
London.
Which part of London? I'm not sure.
Okay.
Tu yang kena pergi tu baru kita betul-betul experience and dapat understand. And I wanted to go down her memory lane, like you said, this is where you went to school, this is where she worked, where she met my dad, or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Kan?
That's so nice. I find it grounding to do
Yes.
that, you know? Yeah. Inshallah. Inshallah, hopefully you get.
Inshallah,
Aisyah
amin,
pun dah
amin,
besar. She'll be so
amin.
excited.
Okay, so and then after tu, you went studying college, university after school. Coming back
UK,
from
I just did my A-levels in UK. Buat A-levels ya, sampai habis. Came home. Again lah, itu pun bukan our plan. We recorded demos saja suka-suka. When Norman passed a cassette of our songs to a friend, who passed it on to another friend, who passed it on to another friend, sampai kat Pertama Complex punya Victoria Music Centre.
Okay.
We never audition to anyone for anyone. And entah macam mana kaset tu from the kedai tu dia pass to EMI punya salesman. We usually come and send consignment kan, hantar kaset ambil.
Betul.
It was not his duty to give a demo to a salesman. Neither is it a duty of a salesman to pass it on to NR. But Allah tentukan.
Yeah.
It got passed on.
Itulah.
And somehow they trace back, cari balik kita. You guys interested in recording contract? Rest is history.
That's KRU lah
That's
kan.
how it happened. Kita tak plan.
pernah
Because I
terfikir
remember
pun.
Tak pernah plan.
hearing you said before KRU pun there was just Adri and Norman mula-mula kan, and then they
And then
That's the thing. We used to have different bands and different, because we created our own charts. Norman had his own song. Sometimes he would write with me and we become we have different bands. And Norman punya Adri punya band was they did a rap song for Selangor Football Club.
Right.
They
Okay.
call themselves
SRU.
SRU, Selangor Rappers Unit. So when I nak join dia ketiga tu cakap I'm not, I bukan peminat Selangor. I'm not joining if it's SRU. Change it lah. Let's change it to KRU, and the name stuck.
Siapa yang cadangkan you
Saya
join?
yang cadangkan KRU.
Is
Oh, you
KRU
sedangkan.
to represent crew like
No.
CREW?
Yeah, yes. It was actually we called ourselves crew.
Like the crew lah.
Tapi time tu
Radio
mungkin because for you to see tengah popular. DJ radio station sajak KRU, but it's not KRU. We never had a dot in between. Tetapi
betul
stuck,
crew.
benda tu melekat lah.
Yeah.
Kan?
Betul lah tu.
I grew up okay, saya first dengar lagu KRU, actually I don't know whether you remember this, sekolah kita kan
Masa
ada,
Soleh perform there.
was it you Sekolah Merah? You
I was
Rumah
hijau.
Merah?
I was hijau.
Dia Rumah Merah,
Alang.
if I'm not mistaken, yang buat lagu Mengerti.
Yelah.
And that was the first time.
Was that your first time?
That was my
Was that
first
your
time.
first time?
First time dengar lagu KRU.
Oh, I see.
That I can remember lah. Masa tu
Right.
lagu
Oh
tu
my God,
letup.
it was
masa
so haunting kan masa tu.
Siapa lah?
Betul,
Lagu tu
masa kita
famous.
buat tarian-tarian rumah sukan masing-masing. Rumah Merah, if I'm not mistaken.
So
Rumah
guna-
Merah paling letup, semua nak tengok. Pasal
Guna
lagu
lagu
KRU, dia
KRU.
punya tarian semua up to date. Kita punya macam makcik punya tarian semua kan. Tak best.
If you remember, some school members, some of our school members pula, some of our schoolmates actually, in fact macam became like musicians in rock bands and all that semua. Dorang perform as though like they were KRU dekat Dewan dan semua kan. Itu pun the mixture of them performing B-boy lah benda semua tu.
Yelah,
Dulu kita
betul.
macam wow, we have our own like KRU in school dulu lah.
Yeah, betul.
Time tu dah minat ke Yusri ke belum lagi? Kena ada time tu tengah ada boyfriend lain.
Tak. I was far too young at that time kan.
Okay.
Saya to be absolutely honest, bila saya menjadi peminat kepada KRU at their later albums, like macam Recruit, ARWAH dan sebagainya. Macam not quite
later.
from the get go lah,
Okay.
not quite from the beginning semua tu. Maybe I think sebab saya punya upbringing, saya punya exposure juga semua kan. Macam what I was listening to adalah apa yang abang-abang I dengar masa tu lah, which was mostly macam 80s rock dan sebagainya lah. Macam
pada
tu.
zaman
So
tu.
pada masa itu dan lebih barat sebenarnya daripada local stuff.
Like Nirvana and stuff like that.
Yeah,
lah kot.
yeah, absolutely. Yes, my second brother and all that was very grunge, you know, and all that semua. So it was later on, you know, like, but then segan lah pula nak cakap
Cerita
lebih-lebih ni.
Dah merah lah muka.
Merah ke muka? Astagfirullahalazim. Okay, so I remembered lah like, macam masa darjah 3, darjah 4 semua tu, like, you know, as they were growing in their orang kata stardom dan sebagainya. So that's when I started buying their cassettes and all that lah, you know. So
zaman tu
obviously
zaman
there was a
kaset.
favorite lah.
Betul.
Obviously there was a favorite. Tapi macam you know, it's like as with appreciating any boy bands and all that stuff, you kind of like alih-alih you envision that like macam it's allowable for you to have a favorite, if you know what I mean. Like macam so that was how it was also lah for
Tapi
me
there's a
juga
story
lah.
that Lisa dengan her late father was watching TV lah. Then music video dekat. I never met her father actually.
Yeah, because my father passed on before we met.
Right.
Yeah.
Before this is way before. Then there's I think dekat padamu punya music video
Yeah.
And he commented lah. He said, handsome Yusry ni. Dia kata, but rasa lah macam I never met him kan.
Right.
Dia dah bagi
When
blessing
we
kat situ.
were-
Yeah.
This was in the later years, obviously. In the later years, because I was very, very close to my father, and then we used to macam tengok TV sama-sama lah, kan. And then dekat padamu punya video tu was on, and he literally said word per word. Dia kata, handsome Yusry ni. Macam tu.
Ayah pun
I just
tahu
kept
ke
quiet.
macam tu?
I just kept quiet at that time lah. Macam, you know, it's a passing remark, right? Like macam it's a passing remark, came and went. How would I know what the future holds? You know what I mean?
Subconsciously.
Subconsciously.
Oh, you think I manifested?
manifested.
Everybody seems to feel that I manifested, but quite honestly, it is by will and grace of Allah, like
Yeah,
how everything
betul.
panned out. Because, you know, like, as much as how involved I was in the industry, it was always something yang macam second to me. Sebab I started since the age of 11. And the intention behind it was always nak raih rezeki, nak tolong family, and also nak belajar. But is it stardom? Is it popularity? Is it imagining myself to be like a Hollywood punya kind of star? Ke? Tak ada, not at all. It was literally mostly for necessity. And So you know, like envisioning yourself or manifesting the idea that you would end up with anybody in the
Become
industry ke apa ke
celebrity.
was quite honestly
In fact, that's one of the things that she said masa mula kita kenal. Dia cakap, I'm not gonna be with any celebrity. Dia cakap awal-awal masa dia jumpa kenal. Betul lah.
Did
Never
I
say
that
never.
to you?
Yes, you did.
Did I say that to you?
Yes, you did.
God knows
No,
best
okay,
kan? God
okay.
knows best kan?
No,
Never say never.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. I think it's the never say never thing. Macam because the both of us, how we started pun was not quite. He did not court me and I did not court him. Kan yang? It was not quite like that.
So
Yeah.
macam mana boleh caught each other tu?
Macam mana boleh tersangkut
Okay, sebelum tu kita save that.
Okay. Save that.
Second
Okay.
segment boleh.
You after Sri Inai,
Yeah,
you went on to study kan, and you took law if I'm not mistaken.
I did. Yes.
What happened there?
What happened there? Like, why ain't you a lawyer? Macam
Yes.
tu apa tu? I was in Sri Inai all the way, by the way. Like daripada standard 1 sampai lah form 5. You know, so I'm
True Inayan
True
lah.
Inayan. Exactly.
Aduh,
Do you
dah agak
remember
dah.
the song? I'm just curious. Do you remember the song?
No.
You don't? Oh my God.
Sri Inai maju dan something like that.
Yeah. Oh, right. Not bad. Okay, so after form 5, I did my A-levels in Help University College. At that time, it was Help Institute lagi. Dia belum orang kata, yes, dia punya status dia kan, ni kan, it progresses in time. So, I did my A-levels and then I did a 2+1. So, 2+1 meaning I did 2 years here and then 1 year I decided on Wales. I wanted a very red brick university experience. I didn't want it to be dalam bandar sangat. I wanted the greens. I wanted the sheep. I wanted the abandoned castles. I wanted all of that. And Aberystwyth was that. Like, it was by the sea and it was a
Cantik.
very quaint, charming town.
Betul.
Have you been there?
Ya.
Oh, Masya Allah.
Zin,
Saya tak pernah.
spell Aberystwyth.
I know, right? It's very, I know. But it's basically Aberystwyth. Macam tu lah. So, you've been there. Did you study there?
My wife studied there.
I see.
Dekat bukan kat Wales, kat Cambridge.
Oh, okay, alright.
So
I
along
see.
the way tu kita orang akan merantau-rantau
Visit
jalan-jalan.
tu semua kan. Oh, lovely,
I've never been to
lovely.
Wales.
You should.
Never been to
Scotland
Wales.
je lah paling ni pun.
Right, right.
cantik juga.
Cardiff pun tak Cardiff, oh, I see. But Scotland pun macam, wow,
Yeah,
nice,
Cantik.
lovely.
Cantik.
The
So
castles there
itulah
semua.
macam
Amazing.
So I was only there for 9 months. Why I took law was because my father wanted me to take law. He was a barrister at law. My niat ataupun orang kata my ambition actually was to take psychology.
Ah.
And then what happened? Sebab ayah nak jadi lawyer juga
Betul.
seorang.
Ayah saya ni sebenarnya masa saya cakap lah yang saya nak buat psikologi tu, dalam kereta saya ingat lagi, dia kata kenapa nak buat psikologi? Sebab kebanyakan institut macam pendidikan yang offer psikologi, it would be an American degree. So ayah saya sebenarnya kan dia a UK student lah maksudnya kan. He was a barrister, dia kat situ lama dan sebagainya. So mungkin dia pun agak sentimental jugalah, kalau boleh dia nak
UK.
anak dia pun ikut jejak langkah dia juga. Kalau dia pun belajar dekat luar pun UK jugalah kalau boleh, macam itulah. So saya pun, sebab saya anak keempat antara 5 adik-beradik. Anak yang pertama, kedua, ketiga macam agak orang kata jujur lah untuk katakan yang macam sorry daddy tak nak buat law, tak minat, tak
they
semua.
rejected it.
They
So
kinda,
it fell onto you.
Fell onto me. And then could see lah yang dia sangat mengharap masa tu. Padahal actually I was like macam I honestly felt that I wasn't cut out for it. It felt like he was a barrister lah tu, like such big shoes to fill, like macam I honestly didn't feel that I was cut out for it. But daddy cakap daddy kan ada. And then we were pretty tight, pretty close as well juga kan. So reading law as a student dulu was not an easy journey for me, to be honest. It's just a lot. It's heavy. It's a lot of things to remember.
Betul.
Did you take law as well?
No,
Did you read law?
Memang salah satu
Antara subjek modul dia.
Bukan, salah satu benda yang kita orang macam fikir law dengan medik ni memang banyak kena hafal.
Yeah, it's a lot of
things.
Yeah.
Most
I
of
mean,
them are
eventually you
pretty-
kind of get into it, after a while. Tapi why didn't I not pursue it as a career? When I came back, dah dapat result. The result actually came after the passing. I came back. He fell sick, and then just within that short period of time, he passed on. I felt lost masa tu. Macam tu lah. I felt like macam my mentor. The plan was to work in his firm because he had a firm dengan partner dia. So the plan was to intern with him first, to be trained to train under him. So walaupun masa tu saya dah in a way a foot into entertainment and arts. I started since I was 11. But the intention, as I mentioned earlier, is just apa orang kata rezeki dan belajar, just sort of like macam when that happened, I totally shut and I said, I'm not going to pursue this if it's not with daddy lah. Macam tu.
I see.
So
Faham.
yeah.
So your adik-beradik dengan mak cakap apa? Dah hantar
So after
jauh-jauh.
the passing of my father masa tu, and then after that, like I was the age I ingat saya 23 masa tu. Tapi offer tu ada. Offer maksud saya daripada
Law firms.
entertainment and arts.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
from
Okay,
entertainment
at
and
the
arts.
same
Offers
time.
are there, macam tu. So I remembered in the house that he passed on, which is his sister's house, I said to mummy, my mother, I cakap, Lisa buat apa yang Lisa boleh buat selagi boleh lah. Selagi Allah izinkan dalam industri ini, sebab at that time dah ada momentum. Ada offer dah masuk dan sebagainya. I'll just do what I can while I can. Literally those words. I will do what I can while I can. Dan with the understanding that macam Allah akan aturkan sebagaimana
Ikut sangkaan
wisdom dia.
hamba.
Macam so I tak envision pun dia benda ni forever lah, tak lah. Macam
But
tu.
senang kata cita-cita asal-usul dia jadi psychiatrist lah. Is it?
Psychologist.
Yeah, that was my
Psychologist.
ambition. Yeah, my
Psychologist
ambition
lah.
was psychology.
And
Yeah.
then Yusri, what would you say your ambition was as growing up?
The thing is my father punya family, I grew up in that situation where almost everyone was an architect. My father punya side.
really?
Semua pun architect. My father is an engineer, but everyone else was the architect. So I looked up to that. So I wanted to be an architect. So memang, and they very early on they noticed that my talents in sketches and drawings and
Right.
that. You should
you
take
can draw,
architecture.
masya Allah.
Yeah, I
Betul.
remember
Sangat
that. I
berbakat.
remember that. It used to be.
Yeah, so again, architect tak sampai lah. But I designed my own house because I learned 3D software kan, doing all this movies and all
This
that.
current
Expertise,
house?
kan?
This current house that we live in, I actually designed it and pass it on to architecture to the architect and engineers.
Oh my
So itu yang benda yang kepuasan that you know, the house that we still live in was actually designed by myself. By me.
Nice. Betul-betul nice.
So ada menarik.
Sangat menarik.
So hasil perkahwinan ada 3 orang anak.
Alhamdulillah.
Siapa yang bagi nama? Nama macam terbelit lidah.
Ya ke terbelit?
Sikit-sikit lah.
Very very unique names.
Unique lah,
It's not
unique.
kata common.
Bukan common lah.
The boys are quite common lah. Satu is
Yusof,
Yusof, satu Yunus.
Yusof, Yunus.
But
Yang
Yahaira
hujung
was
tu.
different. I think Lisa came up with that. Because we wanted a unique name. Yahaira sebenarnya, if you really think about it, sounds Malaysia, like Melayu pun ada, bunyi Arabic pun ada, but it's actually a Spanish name.
Oh, Spanish. Maksudnya apa?
To light or to shine. The meaning of it. Yeah.
So if you look up on the net, there will be Yahiras, but mostly from Spain.
Right.
And then we just noticed that day because we buat stitching kat nama kat Spectrum ni school. So Yunus, Yusof Leon, Yunus Lai, Yahira kita tak Yahira because there's no other Yahiras in the school. So itu yang unik lah nama itu.
Yes.
Yes, betul.
Nama yang kita selalu dengar kan?
Apa tu, I think untuk Yong, our eldest, the Y counterpart of the name is from me, and then Lian is from you.
We wanted a
Tapi,
name yang ada
gabungan
YL lah because we Yusri Lisa.
Right.
So all our kids pun use YL
nampak
juga.
Right.
Combination dia. Faham?
Okay.
Interesting.
You came up with. Oh, then maksudnya ke semua anak-anak saya kena cari untuk huruf Y.
Saya
And
cari
then
untuk L.
abang untuk huruf L.
I see.
I see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So dalam keluarga, Abang Yusri sendiri ada yang celebrities juga ke ataupun you guys were the only one?
I have 2 other famous brothers.
I mean, bila
tak ada, itu je.
Just the three of you lah, the family.
I see. Dan memang terfikir ke time tu, I mean, yelah, memang korang minat untuk SRU semua tu, and then minat music as well. So, dan memang terfikir tak time tu macam, okay, we need to be somebody in the industry. Faham tak?
Tak fikir jauh macam tu. Quite honestly, things just in a way fell into place. Kita cakap kita rancang macam mana pun, benda tu jadi. Allah tentukan jadi juga. Kalau kita nak mengelak, kita dah bersara tak nak menyanyi pun, tiba-tiba ada konsert juga.
Konsert.
Benda tu yang ditentukan. So kita memang kita decided that memang no, we've had enough. Because back in the day, we used to in a way we ada that advantage of trying to be new. But every time new album came out, we had to outdo ourselves. Because we tak ada other strong competition lah. Because your last one what you took was the best one. The next one should be the better than your last one.
Right. Always to push.
So always had to push the boundaries. But after some time, we felt that in 2018, there's nothing else to chase, guys. We're not getting any younger. So cakap let's call it a day lah.
Okay.
So that's why we disbanded. Tapi itulah Allah tentukan ada lagi konsert, adalah konsert lagi.
InsyaAllah.
Faham.
Okay, kita dah banyak dah cerita ni sampai dah masuk kita punya topik career
itulah
dengan
termasuk
hubungan
sekali
tadi
ni.
hampir-hampir. So we try to save that for the second segment.
Yes.
So
InsyaAllah.
continue to watch together with us in the second segment dalam Too Pretty to Handle podcast,
Powered by Estika Medispa.
the number one non-invasive beauty anti-aging med spa di Malaysia.
Too pretty to handle.